It means leading globally diverse teams to eliminate starvation in developing countries. And it means being home to one of the nation's top cybersecurity programs. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more.
Take center stage in St. Louis.
Way back there, and gone! Alex
Bregman and the Chicago Cubs face Jordan Walker and the Cardinals.
Swinging a ball, well struck, deep to left center field, and it is a Jordan Walker grand slam.
The Cubs and Cardinals on Sunday Night Baseball. Coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern, with first pitch at 7:20 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Turin, Italy. History built this city. Now a new story begins.
The first ever premium live event to be held in Italy. High stakes, high pressure. This is what we call must-see.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Scott Tyson here with the 97.7 ESPN The Zone Sports Minute. Alabama softball, the number one seed in the Women's College World Series, opens up play with a 6-3 win over 8 seed UCLA. For the first time since 2021, the Crimson Tide win their opening round game at the World Series. Alabama will take on Nebraska Saturday at 6 p.m. College baseball regionals get underway today. Auburn, the number 4 national seed, will host Milwaukee today at noon. The number 7 national seed Alabama will welcome Alabama State. First pitch set for 6 p.m. Ronald Acuna Jr. would blast his 4th career grand slam over the Green Monster as Atlanta drops the Red Sox 10-2. We invite you to join us Monday, June 22nd for the 2026 Huntsville Sports Commission Rocket City Awards presented by 97.7 ESPN The Zone and Bob Howard's Victory Grill. Tickets start at just $50. For more information, you can email 977WZZNevents@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you. This segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental, which will be hosting the show next Thursday from 10 to noon at their North Parkway location just north of Winchester Road. We'll be there for the annual open house brought to you by Blue Diamond Attachments, which will have their huge trailer and attachments on display out there. Plus, they're feeding us barbecue pork and chicken and all the fixins. So come on out, get fed, and see me and some cool equipment at Valley Equipment on North Parkway Thursday, June 4th. That's Thursday, June 4th at Valley Equipment on the North Parkway.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Oh, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Football Friday! And you know what Football Friday means? It means we'll have football music all throughout the show, regardless of season. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Obviously, we have some football in the show today. We wrapped up the spring meetings, in Destin and all that kind of stuff. And we've been pretty much covering that all week long and giving you a lot of information regarding what was said there. We, give you some audio as well and, kind of surmised some of the things that went on there. But there's not a ton of look, there's always going to be some football on the show. Always going to be some football on the show. And to be honest, though, it feels more like a baseball Friday. It kind of feels like a baseball Friday as the NCAA baseball tournament gets underway today. That'll be blasting through the studio here in a little while. 11 SEC teams in the dance, 7 of which are hosting regionals. 5 of those are in the top 8, meaning that they would host super regionals if they win this weekend. Now, those teams are Georgia, Auburn, Texas, Alabama, and Florida. But having said that, the Vegas favorite is UCLA out of the Big Ten. Now, look, who has UCLA played? I don't know. It's hard to gauge because Big Ten doesn't play, great baseball. So they played, predominantly a Big Ten schedule. But right now, they're the favorite. And the second favorite is out of the ACC, and that's Georgia Tech. So, that after that is when you get into the SEC teams. But the second favorite is Georgia Tech. Then it's Texas, Georgia, Auburn in that order. Now, ironically, even though Alabama is the number 7 national seed in this tournament, they are 14th in the odds to win it all, behind 5 other SEC teams. Just among SEC teams, they are 9th favorite, just among SEC teams. The 3 I mentioned, and then, the rest of them. Texas A&M and Mississippi State and others. Not a lot of love there for the Tide. So we'll see what happens. They get started tonight. Now, later on in the second hour of the show, David Wasson of the Mike Check Sports Podcast and college baseball writer for Saturday Down South will join us to preview the tournament. David will actually follow another first-time guest today as Braves beat writer Jesus Cano of The Athletic will join us from Cincinnati after the Braves hammered Boston yesterday 10-2 behind a grand slam from Ronald Acuna Jr., who also stole 2 bases in the game. That's something no one's done since 1900, so I guess that's a thing. Who looks up that stuff? You know what I mean? I got a crack research team. We're down a man today. No Hollywood. But it's like, what was the last time somebody hit a grand slam and stole 2 bases in a game? That's so random. I know it's the Elias Sports Bureau that does that. But it's like, who's the dude at the Elias Sports Bureau? And it's like, okay, he hit a home run. He stole 2 bases. Missed the cutoff man once. And called for an appeal. Challenge a pitch. Oh, this guy did it. By the end of that game in Boston, the Red Sox fans were chanting, "Sell the team." Oh, be still my heart. Oh, how beautiful is that? Sell the team, they were chanting. The Sox are a mess. Last place in the AL East, 12 games back. And speaking of last place, the 2 worst teams in baseball met in Detroit. And the Angels got the win, leaving both teams at 22 and 35. Nobody expects much from the Angels. It's kind of sad that we never expect much from the Angels. I mean, how many years is this going to go on? Those fans are fed up with Artie Moreno. But the Tigers, this wasn't supposed to be what we were going to have with the Tigers here. Worst record in the league. All right, phone lines are open, so feel free to jump in and contribute. 256-576-4977. That number is good wherever and however you consume the show. We got a text window for you as well. That's open. We'll read and react to those on the air. 732-9TA-SHOW. 732-982-7469. You can also watch the show as well on WZZN TV on the YouTube and on the X and on the Facebook. You can find that by going to my X feed at Thom Abraham Show. And you can check that out there as well. It's good stuff. Women's College World Series got going yesterday with all 8 teams in play. And by the way, for the record, okay, just for the record here, 90% of all of the Women's World Series champions started off the tournament winning their game, winning their opening game. 90, only 10% of the time has the team who won the tournament dropped their first game in the tournament. So now we're talking about Texas Tech, Tennessee, Alabama, and Nebraska. Those 4 teams. Now today is Elimination Day, with State playing Texas and Arkansas playing UCLA. Losers go home. So 3 of those 4 teams are SEC teams. Now, look, I had this on in the studio yesterday afternoon. I got to say it was pretty entertaining. I'm not generally a huge fan of most women's sports. I enjoy LPGA golf. Sometimes I enjoy women playing tennis. I think it's a pretty athletic thing. I think the most athletic thing that a woman does is swing a golf club. I cannot watch women's basketball, college, WNBA, CYO, high school. I just can't. I just can't watch it. I just can't. Sorry. But the softball's a different thing. It's not baseball. It's not like, oh, it's chicks playing baseball. No, it's not. It's softball. It's a totally different game. And I got to say, it's pretty entertaining. It's pretty entertaining. It's a fast game. That little field. Those girls have to make quick reactions. It's wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I do have this question. Is it a rule now that all the girls have to wear that goofy-looking mask, the pitchers? Is that a rule? I mean, it used to be you see them once in a while. But, a lot of times they didn't wear them. Now they all wear them all the time. That must be a rule, right? Because they all wear them all the time. So, I thought that it was a rule that they had to wear those face masks on the batting helmets. The actual metal face mask looks like a football face mask. They all have that, and I'm like, so that must be the rule now. You got to wear that face mask thing. But then I saw a girl from Nebraska come up to bat, and all she had was a C-flap. So crack research tells me that, yes, it's a rule that they all have to wear it in the pitchers have to wear it, but it's apparently not a rule for the batting helmet. They just rocked the C. This one girl was rocking a C-flap. Speaking of baseball, the negotiations have begun in baseball between the owners and the players, with the players basically asking for base salaries to be doubled and the owners proposing a salary cap. Of course, neither of those are going to happen, but MLB is the only sport without a cap or a floor, and it really should be fixed. I mean, shouldn't they all have a cap and a floor? The cap was proposed by Major League Baseball at $245 million, with the floor at $171 million. Now, they left wiggle room in there because they said that's cash and benefits. So if you took the benefits out of it, it drops down like to $228, and the floor goes to like $148. Now, you can't do that. You can't count the benefits. That would be too low. So, look, it's a negotiation. It's the first thing you do. It's not like you're out at Lynn Leighton Ford, and the price on the window is the price that you're going to pay. You're not going to have any mysterious fees or anything like that. It's not like that. These people come in with ridiculous deals. Both sides, they got 9 months to figure it out. So both sides are going to come in with some ridiculous asks. And then, hopefully they'll get it figured out. At a $245 million salary cap and a floor at $171 million, right now 9 teams, including the Braves, would be over that cap. And 12 teams would be below the floor. Remember, there's a $400 million difference between the Dodgers and the Marlins. Ridiculous. Of course, the union wants no cap, but they want a floor. Well, of course. Sure they do. Yeah, no salary cap, but hey, no more $88 million salaries, okay, for a whole team. Got to have a floor. We want it to be a minimum of $200 million and a maximum of nothing. A million, a gazillion, infinity. Of course they do. So it begins. There's going to be a lockout in November. There'll be a lockout after the season. Owners will lock them out. But I think they're going to get it done before we lose games. I really do. But I'm eternally optimistic. David Moulton, who is a pessimist, thinks we're going to lose the entire 2027 season, that there'll be no baseball in 2027. I think we'll have a lockout, which is next to meaningless in the offseason, and then they'll get it figured out. We might miss some spring training, and then we'll get it figured out. I think they'll get it done before we lose games. One thing that both sides seem to want is some sort of combined centralized TV revenue, which is a good thing for baseball. Now, we heard talk about this in the conferences in college football. That's different. There's no way that the SEC and the Big Ten should have to share their TV money with the ACC and the Big 12. That's stupid. That's different. Because each one of those is a league. That's like saying the NFL has to share their money with baseball. That's stupid. But in baseball, the national TV contracts are really not that huge. And then you have the local TV contracts. Well, the Yankees, which own the Yes Network, and have $50 million worth of TV revenue, they have to play. They got to be able to play the Texas Rangers, who have a small TV deal, or the Cleveland Indians, or whoever. I mean, it's a different animal. I think that they should have that. I think that they should be pooling that money. The Dodgers don't have anybody to play if they can't play the Marlins. So there should be a pooling of a portion of that revenue that they get, TV revenue that they get locally. Because that's all the same. That's how it used to be in the NFL in the early 60s before Pete Rozelle convinced everybody. It used to be like that. The Packers had a plan. The Browns had a plan. The Cowboys, they had a plan. Everybody had their own TV deal in terms of what they would get. And they said, no, we're going to do this as a unit. We're going to negotiate this together. Now, that's what these people are calling for college football. But it's different. 138 teams. It's ridiculous. And the SEC and the Big Ten don't need these other teams. In fact, they're. By the way, did you see the Fox Big Noon game, Week 3? How the SEC, the Fox has the Big Noon, Big Ten package, and it's like their feature game to get the day kicked off. The Big Noon game, Week 3, Big Noon on Fox, is Kent State at Ohio State. Kent State at Ohio State. Good job by you, Big Ten. And finally, I need to vent a bit about this consecutive scoreless inning run that Christopher Sanchez is on, the Cincinnati pitcher. He's chasing down Oral Hershiser's record of 59 scoreless innings. Sanchez is at 44 right now, and I think that the Braves are going to miss him this weekend. But Sanchez is at 44, and I need to talk about that. I get a chance to. I need to vent on that a little bit. All right, back at Mission Control, playing the Platinum Matter, Snacks and Wax, answer the phones. Living large and in charge on a Friday, running solo.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son!
I don't like violence, Thom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Old man, how is it that you hear these things?
Young man, how is it that you do not?
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
So, I'm the oldest guy in the building. I'm the veteran in the building, right, of this whole operation. I'm the guy that's been on the air 29 years.
Yep.
And Brody is the youngest guy in the building, right? I mean, he's like a neophyte. Yeah. He's the youngest dude in the building. He takes more time off than me. What's with that kid?
He's a busy guy, all right?
He's a busy guy. He's got a job.
I'm glad that he's got so many avenues that he's going down
at his age. Yeah.
Though I do miss him every once in a while. When he's not here, it's
got a yob. Silent. He's got a yob.
Yeah. This is the truth. This is the truth.
I'm just saying. That's what Saturdays and Sundays are for.
Either way, what is your weekend looking like?
It's going to be busy. Unfortunately, it's going to be very busy. Tomorrow morning, right at like 7 o'clock in the morning, we got a deacon's breakfast over at the church. And, of course, it's going to rain all weekend, too.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice.
There's a memorial service for one of the old dudes that died, in the church. I didn't know the man. I mean, he was like in his 90s. But it's a prominent family in this area. And then, of course, Sunday morning's church again and, regular church. And then take the JYB to breakfast over at Sunrise.
Nice.
Try to get over there before they close. And,
Yeah.
They shut the grill down at 12:30 on a Sunday morning. I'm always arguing with them about that. I'm like, why are you shutting the grill down at 12:30 on a Sunday morning?
A lot of people get off church. Yeah, a lot of people
we have
get
one
off
of the
church.
earliest churches, and we have a hard time getting there by 12:30. You know how many people are not even getting out of church until 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1:15, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can't catch them, at the place, but they're printing money, so they don't care. But it's fantastic place.
My weekend's going to consist primarily of putting things together for an amazing event that we have coming up later in the summer, which is next
working
month,
on
actually.
It's actually the first day of summer, I think, is when that deal is. You're working on the Rocket City Awards, aren't you?
Is it really? Yeah.
It's June. Well, isn't June 22nd the first day of summer?
I think so.
June 21st, June 22nd?
I think the 21st might be just because it's John's birthday.
It's like the longest day of the year, which is good. I mean, it's already crazy. I mean, it's light at 5:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's light. That's one thing about this. Have you seen how? So now they're pushing through again, trying to go to daylight savings time permanently, which is what we're in right now. Daylight savings time permanently.
I don't
know how I feel about this.
I love waking up and the sun's up. It already feels like it's halfway through my morning, and then the sun's still staying out later in the day.
But that doesn't have to do with that. That has to do with the fact that the Earth and its rotation and all that tilting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know
anything
about
if
that.
it's daylight savings time permanently, I've been trying to figure this out. So, like in the fall, so that means it would stay light a little bit later, but in the let's see, we fall back. So that means that in the fall, let's go with the fall, that means it would not get light until like 8 o'clock. Think about that.
I think that's cool.
You good with that?
I'm
you're
waking
okay
up
with
anyway.
it being light? So it would stay light till 5, because it gets dark in the fall. When we fall back, it gets dark at like 4:15, 4:30 in the dead of November, December. It gets ridiculous. So it would be light now till 5:30. So it would stay light to that, but it will be dark in the morning. It'll be dark till like 8 o'clock. It is when you would, when the sun would come up, which means all those kids would be going to school in the dark. A lot of people are concerned about that, about the children standing out there going to school and waiting on the bus in the pitch black.
Yeah, I could see where that would be a problem. But for like an adult like me, waking up to the dark, all the way up until 8, that's kind of vibey. And then I get to maybe see the sunset, in between some shows.
Oh, yeah.
Why
yeah,
not?
well, yeah, you'll be able to see sunset because
sunrise.
you're done. You won't see the sunrise.
I could peek out the window past Costco.
Maybe. I'm just saying, it for me, I wake up with the light no matter what. It's harder for me to wake up when it's dark. It really is. I have a hard time waking up when it's dark. All right. For me, if it's pitch black and my alarm goes off at 6, I know you probably get up about maybe a little earlier than that. Maybe then. I don't know.
Yeah, I do. 6 o'clock's halfway through the day.
It's not halfway through the day. You're still in your crib at 6 o'clock. I mean, get out of here. Who are you kidding? But for me, when that alarm goes off at 6 and it's 2 hours until the sun comes up, that's tough. And it's like that in the Eastern time zone. Before you get to the time change. I'm trying to think of how I would feel about this. I'm mixed. I'm trying to think about how it would impact like the fishing tournaments and things like that. Those are the things that matter to me. Is what would it mean on a Saturday in the fall fishing tournament? I guess that would be kind of cool because it's like if you're going off at safe light, you might not be going out till 7:30 or something like that in the morning. Because now you go fish a tournament right now this time of year in the Central Time Zone, and I mean you got to be at the ramp at 4 o'clock because at 5 o'clock it's light and we're gone. So anyway. Text window from the Phillip. Women's beach volleyball rocks. Pervert.
I agree.
Yeah.
Softball, I got to say, I think I like softball better than baseball.
Get the heck out of here. Don't even say that out loud.
I'm going to put it down. Softball better than baseball.
Don't say that out loud. Look, if you feel that way a little bit, that's one thing. But don't say that. It's a different game.
And I ain't just saying that for I know it's a different game.
It's a different game. Don't say you like it more than baseball. I mean, you're my kin.
I like
spawn.
I didn't
raise anybody to like baseball.
Softball.
It's fine, softball. It was entertaining, but don't say more.
Call one softball game, and you will get why it is so amazing. Don't just watch it, but be a part of it. That's where I'm coming from. It is phenomenal. Maybe I need to call a Trash Pandas game. Maybe Josh Carey will let me
I've done a lot of things. I've called boat races. I've never called a softball game. I'll be honest with you. Never did that. All right, let's get a break. Phone lines are open, so if you want to use that, 256-5764-97.7, that will get you into the show. It's a kind of a free-for-all first hour on a Friday, all right? So it's a free-for-all first hour on a Friday. So if you want to get in on anything, you can go ahead and get in. And otherwise, I got some topics to get to, but I'd love to hear from you. 256-5764-97.7. Busy second hour of the show, so if you want to get in, first hour is probably the way to go. We'll be back with more right after this Tom Abraham Show.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and our employee pricing for everyone is in high gear right now at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. That's right, everyone in the Tennessee Valley can get our special Ford employee pricing on over 280 available new Fords. Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on remaining new 25 F-150s and up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos. With your good credit, you can save thousands with financing as low as 0% on select new models. And always remember, Lynn Layton Ford will never charge you any mysterious dock fee or some hidden markup. It's simple. You pay what we pay on 280 new Fords. That's right, $15,000 off MSRP on new 25 F-150s, $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos, or lock in 0% financing on select new models. Come see us at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Have you tried indoor golf yet? You need to check out The Golfus. The Golfus is Huntsville's newest, nicest, and only multi-location indoor golf venue. Spend an hour on the virtual range working on your game or play more than 2,000 golf courses. Our grand opening pricing makes us the best value in town. And if you really love it, grab a limited time, unlimited golf membership for only $99 a month. Get all of the details at thegolfus.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms once again going to be a prominent part of the afternoon and the evening. We drop into the upper 60s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky on Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the mid 80s with some scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by the Golfus, Huntsville's newest, coolest, and only multi-location indoor golf venue where you bring your own gear. Use the Golfus to play over 2,000 courses from around the world, including that one in Georgia that kicks off the majors. Plus, the Golfus is a great place to dial in your game or have an office event or private party. Their third location in the Valley is coming to Hughes Road in Madison soon. Visit thegolfus.com for more info. That's GOLFFICE, thegolfus.com. Yeah, welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. All right, phone lines are open 256-576-4977. That will get you into the show. You want to jump on board with us, you can do it. We're going to start it out. Now, see, here's the thing. My call screen was not working before. My call screen was not working, and I had to reboot the computer on the table, and now I find some real legends that are there ready to rock and roll with us. So we're going to go ahead and hit these lines right now, starting with the Philip. He's up first. Philip, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm all right. That tall guy that plays for the Spurs,
Wemby, yeah,
pretty freaking good, dude.
You know what's scary? Every time he falls down or gets running, don't you feel like he's going to break? He looks like a spider out there. He looks like a big spider, and he's so skinny. His legs and everything are so skinny, and every time he goes down, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to break his leg in half.
Hey, you drop a spider from a tall area, it will always survive, all right?
Yeah, he looks like a spider.
Man, he swats balls just out of the air. Like, I've never seen a better ball swatter ever, I don't think. Can you think of a better ball swatter?
No, he's the most athletic 7'5" guy, we've seen, in basketball. So he's right now. I mean, I would say Akeem Olajuwon. I mean, Akeem Olajuwon was outstanding, but this guy is taking it to another level, and he's 20 years old. I mean, he's just a puppy.
As fun as it would be for the Knicks to win this thing, I don't know, dude. Could this guy single-handedly ruin the Knicks season?
Well, they're favored. They're going to be favored if they win. Now, remember, they got to get past OKC in Game 7 at OKC, which, the Thunder won last year, Game 7 at home. But if the Thunder win, they'll be a 6.5-point favorite over the Knicks and a 2-1 favorite to win the championship. If the Spurs win, they'll be a 4.5-point favorite over the Knicks in Game 1 and also a 2-1 favorite to win the championship. So the Knicks are a big underdog to either one of those teams. So it wouldn't be like an upset.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, speaking of athletes, are you following what's going on in Laos?
And where?
These are
Laos?
In Laos.
Laos,
Vietnam.
like in Vietnam? Vietnam, yeah. Laos? No, I'm not. I'm not on top of that. That's where I draw the line at Vietnam. But go ahead, tell me what's going on.
You have no idea about these 7 dudes that went into this cave over a week ago, trying to find gold because they can't hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. They're not big enough to be football players. They're not tall enough to be basketball players. So they're going after this gold, and it is flooded. They have just now rescued it is happening live on CNN right now. God bless Ted Turner. They've brought out the first dude. They have been down there for a week. They have scuba divers, trained scuba divers, that have gone down into this cave and found these people, and they have to train them how to scuba dive to get them out of this cave, and they've got one dude out. It's like Jessica in the well. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Dude, my dad was so locked into Jessica in the well, it was not even funny. He might have been more locked into that than he was when Tom Landry and the Cowboys were on TV. I mean, he was locked into that. That was like the first big thing. Again, Ted Turner, what Ted Turner did for television. But, dude, if you flip it on right now, it will take your breath away. They are showing footage that will make you unable to breathe. It's like a horror movie like you've never seen, but it's reality. This is what these dudes are going through to get out. Oh, my God, it's so scary. And stupid at the same time. Stupid.
Yeah. It is. I'm claustrophobic just thinking about it, so I don't know that I want to see these people stuck in a cave.
You got to walk, dude. It'll suck the air right out of your lungs if you watch. It's on right now.
Okay.
Right now.
I'm doing a sports talk radio show right now.
These are athletes. These scuba divers that are down there saving these people, that's an athlete, dude.
Yeah.
That's an athlete.
Yeah, it's an athletic thing.
That's who needs to be making the money.
It's not a sport, but it's an athletic thing. Yeah.
Where is Natalie Danica?
I don't know. He may be on vacation. They do a lot of traveling these days now that he's retired. They may have gone overseas or something for all I know. I know he was talking about going back to Scotland or Italy or someplace. I don't know if he's traveling right now or not. We'll put a Natty Danny APB out. We'll try and find out and see where he's at. I haven't heard him.
All right.
It could just be because the Pistons got whacked as the number 1 seed in the basketball, and the Tigers are the worst team in baseball. And so, everything's kind of crashing down around him right now, being his Red Wings missed the playoffs, so
Wolverine.
maybe he just came to the realization all his teams suck, and so maybe that's it.
That could be it. One quick comment on your young prodigy there.
Yeah.
The way that you know that he's not fully developed as an adult yet is it sounds to me like his top priority is not children.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
When you become an actual adult, you care more about children than you do your own self.
Take it easy.
Like
my frontal lobe should be developed.
But you're not understanding the value. Thanks for the call, Philip. It's a good job by you. He's not understanding the impact of the kids having to stay. Now, I'm not saying that I'm against it. I'm just saying that one of the concerns with it is that kids are going to be standing out there waiting on the bus. Whoever takes the bus anymore. I don't know if anybody takes the bus anymore. Kids are going to be going, it's going to be not going to be light till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you never really let us take the bus.
You guys,
occasional times where we did.
The olders did. The olders all did. The youngers didn't. The olders all did. Your sisters all took the bus for the most part. I mean, that's a whole other culture. The bus. I took the bus.
I'm glad
until I started driving when I was a junior in high school. I always took the bus. They didn't have that thing. They didn't have that parent drop off thing and all that stuff you people do now. They didn't have that back in the day. You took the bus. Okay, you took the bus or you walked to school. That's it. By the time I got to high school, I had to transfer buses because I was going to a parochial school that was 20 miles from where I lived. And I would have to take a bus to one place and then transfer to a different bus and take another bus. And we'd be on the bus for 45 minutes playing cards the whole way.
Seems like a flight.
It was like a flight. The Phillip is, or no, check that. That was the Phillip. The AC. AC is next. AC, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, man. Thank you so much for taking my call. How's life?
Life is fantastic.
Good. You have Mr. Illness. His nickname is Illness. Calls the show, attacks your son, and you couldn't even defend your son. What kind of daddy are you? I mean, what kind of person are you, bro?
I'm the kind that calls it the way it is. That's just it. I'll tell you what kind I am. I'm the kind that when my son was 7 years old. And I was pitching to him in baseball, and he hit a ball back and hit me right in the stones. I mean, right in the cayunes. Yeah, you know what I did? The next pitch, he went down the next pitch. That's the one I am. I'm the one that beaned my kid on the next pitch and taught him how to stay loose in the box. That's the kind of daddy I am.
And you couldn't defend him while Mr. Illness was going at it. Okay, nice enough. Illness, you are just like your Dallas Cowboys. You guys are pathetic. And he called this idiot a Danica. I have a new nickname for him, Wolverine Water Boy, and a Towel Boy, and a Carpetbagger. This is who you guys are. And you call them legends? Legends.
Wait, how is Wolverine Dan a Carpetbagger?
Well, I don't know. You were asking me this question. You figured
he's still a fan of his, but he's still a fan of his teams up north. So it's not like he came down here and became a fan of the Tennessee Titans or something.
Well, it doesn't matter what he does. He's a carpetbagger, just like Mr. Illness. Am I right? He's supposed to ask you how you feeling, Mr. TA, but he never did. He's Mr. Illness. I'm sick today. I'm gonna vomit. Let me tell you something. In Mr. Ryan Fowler's show, the guy in Tide 100.9, we run the show. Your callers would never exist. We're gonna wipe them out. Face on this earth, man. Your callers, they bring nothing to the show. Even the ladies, they're going to bring nothing. They have the sports fans that want to complain about baseball this, softball this. Who cares? You don't make their money. You are too busy collecting carpet. You're the carpetbaggers. This is who you guys are. So, PA, you guys are jumping into guns here. You think the Spurs going to win Game 7? They're going to be destroyed. Wemby, congratulations. He's going to be hospitalized after Game 7. OKC's not losing anything. They're going to go to the finals. They're going to embarrass your New York Knicks. I don't care who comes out. Knicks are about to lose because your team had a cupcake schedule. How are those schedules working out for you, TA, with Cleveland Browns? I mean, how are they doing? 7-8 wins. What are we doing?
They haven't lost a game yet this season.
Yeah. Well, a nice way to be sarcastic. They haven't lost because they're right now 0-0, but we know they're not.
Well, who knows how
Super Bowl anytime soon. It's not Jim Brown anymore, baby. Get over it. LeBron James, the last person to deliver a championship. Oh, I'm going to hang up by saying this, TA. Good job by you, homie. Holla.
I'd rather be a carpetbagger than a bandwagon fan. Is there anything worse than a bandwagon fan? It just pulls for teams that win and it change teams based on who's winning? That would kind of suck. Grumpy is next. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Wow, those were a couple of entertaining calls there.
No.
I'm surprised that the Phillip, when he was talking about ball swatting, didn't bring up Dan and call him a ball swatter or something. I thought that was coming. Hey, just real quick here, June 6th is free fishing day. You can fish anywhere in the state for free June 6th coming up. So if anybody wants to go fishing, this is it.
That's a Saturday, right? Speaking of June 6th, let me just say this. In Fayetteville, there will be, that's the fishing day in Fayetteville. At the, what's that park called there where they got the lazy river that goes through it?
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
So there's a park that, so it's a free fishing day, and they have a fishing rodeo there that is run by the TWRA. There'll be 200 kids at least, families and everything else there. They line up along the banks there. They dump about 5,000 pounds of catfish in there, and the kids will catch the catfish. They have contests and all that stuff. I will be there doing an appearance with my boat. I'll have the boat parked out front on the grass. The kids will come over. I'll give away hats and things like that.
Yeah.
And they'll come and get on the boat with me and take pictures and things like that. So that's next Saturday, June 6th from 8 o'clock until noon in Fayetteville there at the Fishing Rodeo. So there you go.
Let me say this, too. If anybody goes to that, bring a little chair because you can put the chair right next to the canal.
They all have to bring chairs.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. But anyway, and have you seen this bill, HB 75? This is Chad Robertson, the House of Representatives in Alabama. I know it's not a political show, but it's pretty cool. What he's saying is if you use state funds to have a signing day for athletes as a public school, then you're going to be required to put a table up. And on the same day, you have to do an event for the kids joining the military.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
A lot of schools do that, though, don't they? Don't a lot of schools do that? They have a signing day, and this kid's going to the Marines, this kid's going to the Air Force. They don't have that?
Never. It might have been back in the day, but it didn't breathe life, and it died because I've never heard of that. But he's making it
Great
a law.
idea.
Yeah, you're going to have to. Hey, listen, now, with this Houston touchdown club and Steve Sarkisian's comments there, are you familiar with that?
Which ones? He made a number of comments. Which ones?
Well, the
crack he took at Ole Miss, or what?
No, he took a stab at Texas Tech and said that he said there's a program in our state that plays a schedule that if we played it, we could beat everyone on the schedule with our 2s and 3s, and this school will probably make the play. Well, then the coach for Texas Tech, that Joey McGuire, he called up the Patterson, the coach for Abilene Christian, who Texas Tech is playing, and he also called up Kenny, the Texas State coach, who Texas is playing, and he said, "Hey, we'll buy your contracts out if you two can play each other, Abilene Christian and Texas State, and that frees up us in Texas, and we'll play Texas." At AT&T Stadium week 1, or we'll host them, or we'll go there. We'll work it out. So I just think that's awesome. Yeah, he said
I would love it. Texas,
Texas
would beat up the stomp a mud hole in them. But I think it would be great.
Hey, your guy's missing a couple of days at work when the Grasshopper. When you brought up Hollywood, do you know what the first thing he said was? He said, "I miss him sometimes."
Yeah. Yeah. That was
my boy right there.
Man.
That was a little bit. That made me feel just a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. You might want to get that as a sound bite, so when you bring up Hollywood, you can play that. I miss him sometimes. All right, have a good one, brother.
Appreciate you. Yeah, that was a little bit just
He's an interesting dude, all right?
Yeah, but you shouldn't be.
What do you call yourself? King, queen, princess, whatever you are?
What are you, princess? I mean, come on.
I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
Oh,
like
I see
man.
how it is. Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna be a little bit concerned. Now I'm really gonna be a little bit concerned. Text window. What about the big boy SEC finally going on a diet and saying to hell with the cupcakes? They didn't say how. So he's referring to the fact that Greg Sankey and the SEC now said no more cupcakes the week before the final week of the season. That's all that is. It's not no more cupcakes. They still have 3 non-conference games, and they're all compelled to play one P4 game outside of their conference. So they're going to play 10 P4 games, the non-conference games plus 1. But they can still play 2 cupcakes. You just can't play them in week 11. So, for example, when you've got, say, Florida playing Florida Atlantic and Campbell, they play Florida Atlantic and Campbell the first 2 games. They're going to be allowed to do that. You got Georgia playing Tennessee State and Western Kentucky the first 2 games. They'll be allowed to do that. All right, so you could do it earlier in the year. You just can't do it week 11. You can't have that cupcake. And the only ones that were doing that this year is for the Iron Bowl and the Egg Bowl. It was just Alabama and Arkansas playing Chattanooga and Samford, and Ole Miss and Mississippi State playing Wofford and Tennessee Tech. Everybody else is playing a conference game on November 21st, the second last week of the season. But what you're going to see is that the teams that do still choose to play 2 cupcakes, like Oklahoma's playing UTEP and New Mexico in the first 3 weeks. Now, between that, they're playing Michigan. But they got UTEP, Michigan, and then New Mexico in their first 3 weeks. So you'll still have 2 cupcakes for a lot of teams. They're just going to be at the beginning of the season. Let's get a break. We'll come back, set you up for hour number 2. Thom Abraham Show. Back with more in a moment.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Atlanta Braves are on the road tonight in Cincinnati to take on the Reds. Grant Holmes is on the bump. He's 3-2 with an ERA below 4. Atlanta's minus 155 on the money line. The over-under between the two is 9.5 runs. Auburn Tigers play today in NCAA regional play. They'll host Milwaukee. Auburn is minus 2,100 on the money line. The over-under is 11 runs. Alabama will host Alabama State tonight. The over-under is 11 runs. Alabama is minus 810 on the money line in the regional opener. With your VSiN Action Update, I'm John Thayer on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and our employee pricing for everyone is in high gear right now at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. That's right, everyone in the Tennessee Valley can get our special Ford employee pricing on over 280 available new Fords. Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on remaining new 25 F-150s and up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos. With your good credit, you can save thousands with financing as low as 0% on select new models. And always remember, Lynn Layton Ford will never charge you any mysterious dock fee or some hidden markup. It's simple. You pay what we pay on 280 new Fords. That's right, $15,000 off MSRP on new 25 F-150s. $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos, or lock in 0% financing on select new models. Come see us at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
The ultimate golf experience is waiting for you at the Golfus. For a limited time, you can get an unlimited membership for only $99 a month. Hit balls on the range, play any of our 2,000 golf courses, have a graduation party, or host a corporate event. For all the details, go to thegolfus.com. We have 2 locations in Huntsville and a location soon coming to Hughes Road in Madison. That's thegolfus.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle. The same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms once again going to be a prominent part of the afternoon and the evening. We drop into the upper 60s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky on Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the mid 80s with some scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This summer, we make HVAC history as Sensagreen Heating, Cooling, and Insulation celebrates our country's 250th birthday. Happy birthday, America! In honor of crossing the Delaware River and kicking Cornwallis out of Yorktown, Sensagreen now offers $1,776 off new HVAC systems. Give me liberty and a new HVAC smart system this summer at Sensagreen with Brian. Whatever it takes, just like our founding fathers. USA! USA! USA!
Alabama license number 12705/52808.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here from my friends at All About Water, LLC. Look, those spring and summer rains are going to hit at some point, and when they do, you need Ryan at All About Water to help you deal with keeping it away from your foundation or doing damage on your property. Now, his background is in fluid dynamics, and that assures you that they can handle any job, including building and maintaining a pond or any other sort of water feature. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com. So AC is very upset that I didn't defend you, John. He's like, no matter who the caller or listeners are, you need to defend your kids. Don't be soft like the Browns. Look, John, you know how it is. I mean, this isn't about my, a kid. At this point in time, I'm talking to a producer.
Yeah, my skin's thicker than molasses as well. I've learned that from, my entire family.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. It was always like that. I mean, we're not into that, all that touchy-feely, no matter what. I treat you like a man. I'm not treating you like, one of my kids that's got to be defended. If you're doing something I think is out of line, you know that. All of you guys. What do I always tell? What have I told you since you were a little boy? And you were the fourth one in line of sons. What did I tell you? I got another one that looks just like you.
I appreciate it sometimes. Stuff. I appreciate
it. Yeah. Watch what you're doing. I got another one that looks just like you. So, I mean, it's not, that you're loved. You know that, I take a bullet for you. But I'm also going to, you're also going to come correct if I
don't even remember what we were talking about in the first place.
I don't know. All right, that's it. Our number one's in the hopper. We welcome in Jesus Cano next on the Braves.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care, no appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because, after all, Alabama is our home, too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Thom Abraham here for my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, which will be hosting the show next Thursday from 10 to noon at their North Parkway location just north of Winchester Road. I'll be there for the annual open house brought to you by Blue Diamond Attachments, which will have their huge trailer and attachment display out there. Plus, they'll be feeding us barbecue pork and chicken with all the fixins. So come on out, get fed, see me, and check out the cool equipment at Valley Equipment on the North Parkway. That's Thursday, June 4th.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Scott Tyson here with the 97.7 ESPN The Zone Sports Minute. Alabama softball, the #1 seed in the Women's College World Series, opens up play with the 6-3 win over 8-seed UCLA. For the first time since 2021, the Crimson Tide win their opening round game at the World Series. Alabama will take on Nebraska Saturday at 6 p.m. College baseball regionals get underway today. Auburn, the #4 national seed, will host Milwaukee today at noon. The #7 national seed Alabama will welcome Alabama State. First pitch set for 6 p.m. Ronald Acuna Jr. would blast his 4th career Grand Slam over the Green Monster as Atlanta drops the Red Sox 10-2. We invite you to join us Monday, June 22nd for the 2026 Huntsville Sports Commission Rocket City Awards presented by 97.7 ESPN The Zone and Bob Howard's Victory Grill. Tickets start at just $50. For more information, you can email 977WZZNevents@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome in on a football Friday that feels more like a baseball Friday with the baseball tournament getting started, the college baseball tournament getting started today. And to that end, David Wasson of the Mike Check Sports podcast and college baseball writer for Saturday Down South will join us in the next segment of the show. But we're also talking baseball with the Atlanta Braves, who are just hotter than a pistol and continue now. We're past Memorial Day, and they're still with the best record in all of baseball. So we definitely need to have that conversation as well. We welcome in a new audience listening in Nashville on Nashville Sports Radio, which is a Braves affiliate as well, in Murfreesboro, and our friends, of course, at 97.7 ESPN in Huntsville, Braves affiliate, and ESPN Winchester, Braves affiliate. So if you're going to talk Braves, How about Jesus Cano? Let's welcome him to the show. This is the first time he's on. He has taken over for The Athletic as the beat writer covering the Braves, and he joins us now from his hotel room. Just got in to Cincinnati for the weekend set with the Reds, and he's on a Neighbors Wealth Management hotline. Jesus, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I was worried that it was going to come too close and I was going to need to do the show from my Uber, but it all worked out, and literally with 3 minutes to spare, I opened the door and I was like, all right, let's get ready to go. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, and typically our guests now are coming on via video because the show is streaming as well on YouTube, on WZZN TV. But, we knew that you were going to be on the road, so we figured we'd just get you this time on the phone, and then next time maybe we'll be able to get you on video. It was a bad job by me booking you in between series, where you had to go from Boston to come in here to Cincinnati.
Hey, no, but, Braves fans, Braves country should be really happy about what's going on with the team, so I'm more than happy to talk about everything Braves right now going on because they're playing really, really well right now.
So how does a kid first, we need a little background. How does a kid from the West Coast, right, Fresno State, how do you end up on the Braves beat? You know what I mean? To just kind of give us your path as, as you worked your way here to the Dirty South to take over the Atlanta Braves beat.
Yeah, no, even that sentence itself is crazy to believe because I grew up in California and I'm 26 now. I've been writing about sports since I was 15 years old. Like I started off covering high school sports, every single sport you can imagine. Football, basketball, of course, your big sports, but I was also doing water polo. I was also doing track. I was also doing golf. I was also doing stunt cheer during the last couple of years where I was covering high school sports. And then I just moved up every single step of the way. It was high school, and I went to community college, was a sports editor there. And then when at Fresno State, I actually ended up becoming the managing editor at our student newspaper, The Collegian. And while I was there, I got a couple of smaller jobs with some newspapers, including the San Jose Mercury News. And then while I was at the Mercury News, MLB.com opened a content diversity fellowship, which to bring in a couple of reporters to come help and provide some coverage. And I was part of that first class, and
nice.
Gave me the opportunity to move down to Phoenix, Arizona. I was there 2023, so it was when the D-backs made that improbable run to the World Series. So I was able to do that, and then after that, I got my first full-time job at Baseball America. I was covering prospects, of course, but I was focusing primarily on the 15 Cactus League teams that are based out of Arizona. So, man, I was out there all year, man, from February through November, and especially through June, July, when it reached 115, 116 degrees on those backfields and stuff like that. And you're seeing some, promising prospects, but you're also seeing some guys that are probably never going to make it out the complex. So it was a really fun experience. And then, everything came together. The Athletic, David O'Brien, the previous beat reporter, retired, and there was an opening, and the Athletic believed in me and thought that I was good enough to take over the beat, and I couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity to just be here and then covering a team with so much good coverage, with such a good following. When I was moving here from Phoenix and we were driving down the U-Haul from throughout different places of the South, we went Alabama, Mississippi. I mean, there was so many Brave stuff to see, which is insane because when I was living in Phoenix, there was like no Diamondback stuff, being shown, within city limits. So to see it really span across, the South is something really special to see, and I'm just very thankful to be in this opportunity.
I have been a subscriber to The Athletic since day one. I mean, when that thing first got launched, the only thing that ever bothers me about it is I pay a little bit more than these. They used to have these entry deals like, oh, pay $1 a month for the next first year and everything. I'm like, hey, what about me? I'm paying more than that. But, it's always been a great source. We have a lot of guys from The Athletic that come on the show from various disciplines as well. Now, Kevin McAlpin was my guy for years. He was my Braves guy. And he originally was a Phillies guy. He's from Philly. It was a Phillies guy, and then he comes out of the clubhouse there to come to take over the Braves beat, ends up as part of the, pregame with the, Braves radio and all that kind of stuff. And now he left the business altogether. So we've been looking for kind of a new Braves guy, and that's why we reached out to you. But, it was a weird thing for him because he was a Phillies guy who is now covering the rival Braves, came to love the Braves. But we all have our teams. Growing, I'm a Yankee fan. I mean, that's my team, and I love the Braves, but I'm a Yankees fan. So for you, being from California, I mean, were you a Dodgers fan or Angels, A's? I mean, who was your boyhood team growing up?
The A's. I mean, I grew up in the Bay
Area.
The A's. About 30 30 minutes from Oakland, and the way the A's, when they were in Oakland, the way they embraced the East Bay, because when people think about the Bay Area, they think about San Francisco, and that, which rightfully so. But there's so much to it, and I think the A's did such a good job of really embracing that underdog mindset that the community felt behind. They also just did such a good job, with player development, which is something I'm a really big fan of baseball, and I was thankful to do that at Baseball America. But the way they're scouting, their player development was able to put on some, good players like Matt Chapman, and on that topic, Matt Olson, who was, scouted, drafted, developed, and then traded over to the A's, and now, to the Braves, and obviously we see what he's doing right now. But yeah, I grew up a Braves fan, but I was thankful too that, we had two teams within me, so it was nice to see different sides, having a National League team and an American League team, because, if there's kids that are listening to the radio, back in the day, those teams would only play maybe, you wouldn't get to see an interleague play the way we do right now. So I was thankful to see a lot of really good baseball come throughout both of those stadiums.
Yeah, so I've been around for a minute, right? So growing up as a kid, the Yankees were terrible in the early 70s when I was like 10 years old. And so I would gravitate towards the A's once the season was over and it came time for the playoffs. I loved those swinging A's. They had the colorful uniform, the Charlie O'Finley A's and the Reggie Jackson and Raleigh Fingers and all of those kind of guys. And so I really enjoyed that team. And I tell my listeners all the time, they're kind of my late night enjoyment. Like when my wife falls asleep and I throw the MLB app on, I'm gonna watch some TV, some games. I'll watch the A's games late at night. So I still pull for them. Of course, Billy Beane and that whole deal, over the years, and it'll be interesting to see. I'm melancholy about it. I'm not from the West Coast. I've never been to Oakland. So for me, I don't have skin in the game, whether they're the Oakland A's or the Las Vegas A's, and I guess. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But you're covering a team right now that's hot as a pistol and has been all season long, and you keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. They just never have any kind of a losing streak. I mean, a bad couple of weeks for them is 6-4, and it's really got to be a pleasure to watch this team play, because it seems like they're always on. We're now past Memorial Day, and that's kind of like the first litmus test for me is the Memorial Day. Where are you now? And they still have the best record in baseball. It's really been something to watch.
Yeah, no, it has been. And I, when I was first applying for the job and actually got it in, and I believe I want to say late March towards the end of spring training is when I started to ramp up and really just keep up with the coverage of the team. And you're right, for a team that wasn't expected to be anywhere near where they are right now, I mean, they just continue to be consistent. And the biggest thing, too, is they do it by just not even being the healthiest version of themselves, Like, they have not been, the lineup hasn't been, as healthy as it's been. They have Drake Baldwin on the injured list right now. He jumped on the injured list like a day after Acuna came back. And then Acuna went on the injured list when Spencer Strider just came back. So it's amazing to see the amount of production they've been able to do, given all the injuries, and also all the preseason injuries heading into it too. Schwellenbach, Waldrip, and obviously Strider right at the beginning of spring training. I mean, the pitching rotation looked, there were so many questions looming in it, and now at this point, it's one of the best in baseball. Not just the starting rotation, but the bullpen has been hands down. You've seen guys from obviously Matt Olson, Acuna, Michael Harris come through, but it's also guys like Mauricio Dubon, Mike Yastrzemski, and even players like Dom Smith that have just come up. So this team, I think, is resilient, has gone through a lot, but every single player on that roster has stepped up and really is the reason why they're at this point right now.
If you were to tell me that they would have this record at this point in the season and Austin Riley would be hitting 216 with 8 home runs, I'd have told you you're nuts. I mean, it would be impossible. And you're right. They're not their best version of themselves at this particular point in time. Even Ronald Acuna, who had the grand slam last night and the 2 stolen bases, which I guess has not happened since 1900. I don't know who looked that up, but somehow somebody figured it out that 2 stolen bases and a grand slam in a game hadn't happened since 1900, at least for this organization. But, he's hitting 238. That was only his 3rd home run, 16 RBI. Since he's gotten back in there. So he's not humming on all cylinders yet. So, like you say, they're getting done with different guys. And, Dominic Smith, my gosh, 325. I mean, he's been a really welcome surprise.
Yeah, no, he has been. I mean, I actually interviewed Dominic Smith earlier this week at Fenway Park. I actually have a story coming out of him for The Athletic on Monday. And yeah, I think the biggest thing in regards to him, it's of course the back. I mean, we also have to remember about the path Dominic Smith to take here. Coming out of Southern California, he was a prize, prospect in the prep ranks out of Junipero Serra High School that has produced a lot of really good baseball players. And he got drafted first rounder. Got the big signing bonus with the Mets, and had a serviceable career, but not one that you would associate with somebody at that high caliber. And then after that, bounced off between different teams here and there. A lot of them came on just one-year deals, whether it was major league or minor league deals. So for the past couple of years, he's really had to prove that he's still a high-caliber player. And then, with the opportunity here with the Braves, being signed just the week before opening day, and now has become one of the staple. I wouldn't say a staple in the lineup because it's a big matchup for him since he's a left-handed hitter. But anytime he's in the lineup, he's producing something good. Last night he drove in a run to help the Braves out win. But the biggest thing too that I've talked to a lot of players is whenever I talk about Dom Smith, they talk about the same thing. It's the makeup, it's the leadership, and he doesn't have this loud leadership that you would expect from the typical leader. He's a guy that's kind of very chill, very laid back, very relaxed, very well fitted. It's also pretty good when it comes to fashion and stuff like that. But he goes there and he just talks to guys, casually. Doesn't is very laid back, and I think guys gravitate towards that because they've seen the position he's been in before. He continues to claw. He's not the type of guy that's just going to be like, oh, I'm over this. I don't do this. This is what I get paid to do or anything like that. No, whatever role he's in, he will go out and do it. If it's, batting ninth, he'll do it. If it's playing first, if it's playing outfield, he'll do it as long as he puts himself in the position to win. And it's guys like, for every Don Smith, there's other players out there that, we mentioned in the past that have just have contributed to this team so much.
Yeah, Jesus Cano with us, Braves beat writer for The Athletic. And then on the mound, I'll be totally honest with you. I covered Chris Sale when he was at FGCU. I was on in Southwest Florida for a number of years and covered him, as a college player going all the way back. When they got him a couple of years ago, I thought it was a mistake. I was like, this guy's washed. There's just nothing left in the hopper here with Chris Sale. Of course, he's been outstanding since he's come to the Braves. Now he's 8-3 this year. ERA is at 2. Beats the Red Sox. I think that's the third time he's beaten the Red Sox since he's been there, which has got to, warm his heart as well. And, right at the top of this, this pitching staff, it's just, it's been amazing how this guy just keeps on keeping on.
Yeah, and even yesterday, he himself and Walt Weiss, admitted, it wasn't his best stuff yesterday. Sales himself said, at the beginning of the game, the fastball command was really shaky. The slider was almost going in the opposite direction to him, and yet he was still able to go out there and just fool a lot of the Red Sox hitters. And I think, he credited that a lot to Sandy Leon, the catcher who's, in place right now for all the slew of injuries that they have right now. They have history dating back to when they both played on the Red Sox, right? So that really helped them out. But yeah, it's funny, when I introduced myself to Chris Sale, the first, one of the things I told him was like, hey, not to make you feel old, man, but I kind of watched you growing up. I saw you pitch a handful of times at the Coliseum and stuff like that, and he got a good chuckle out of it. But it's just, this is a Cy Young contender. It's also, Cy Young winner, not to, in recent history. And he's still putting it up, man. At 37 years old, he's really found the fountain of youth, here ever since he got to Atlanta. It just seems like he isn't stopping, and that, he's worth every single guy that they traded. Eventually that, trade obviously looks really good for the Braves right now, and then everything he's contributed to since then. But at the same time, too, a veteran guy, has provided so much insight to a lot of the younger guys, too, whether it's Spencer Strider, whether it's Grant Holmes, whether it's J.R. Ritchie when he was up here, he was more than willing to, take questions and take pride in being approachable within the team to be able to do it. It's for a lot of these guys who first saw him during spring training and saw him, when pitchers and catchers reported, J.R. Ritchie himself told me that he was very amazed by the fact that he was sharing the same clubhouse as Sale. So it's more than just what's happening when he's on the mound. There's a big impact overall that he gives to the rest of the pitching staff and the team in general.
Finally, Walt Weiss, just talk to me about him and how much of this has to do with him. I'm not throwing any shade at Brian Snicker. You weren't there for any of that, but maybe it was time, for a new voice. And Walt Weiss is that guy, and just his demeanor and how he handles this club. You're in the clubhouse, you see what it's like. What's your take on Walt Weiss, the manager?
Walt Weiss is a great baseball mind. Obviously had a really good career. Was a former Rookie of the Year winner, and has had different stints within. Obviously has managerial experience. But I think the most important thing when it comes to specific organizations, right, you have to have a really good understanding of what the organization values, what's important to ownership, what's important to the players, what's important to the fans, what's important to this brand of baseball, right? And I think it's unique for every organization. And to be able to have somebody that's been there for the past couple of years and been around a lot of the guys, right, I think that's the biggest thing. The clubhouse loves Walt. I don't think there's any single person who has something negative to say about him. They really enjoy being around him, and he's not this type of leader that's going to rally the troops and stuff like that. He himself said in the past, when you have a team and players, that do that for themselves, it kind of makes his job a little bit easier, because all he can do is, think about the baseball stuff, have individual conversations, individual talks with players and stuff like that. Let them do, the pumping up and all that, and him, managing the lineup, managing the bullpen. There's been a lot of things, with all the injuries that's happened, he's had to roll out, lineups pretty frequently, different lineups pretty frequently, and that can be a challenge at times when it comes to matchups, facing certain pitchers, having to maybe have a guy that normally hits at the top of the order and move him a little bit down, because it would balances the order. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, there was just, the bullpen was taxed, it was depleted, and he did his best to put guys in spots to be able to help the team win. And, obviously they've been able to maintain that consistency, but, Walt Weiss is a big reason why this team is having so much success. It's one thing to be able to see what happens on the field, right? Anybody can go out there, and if they're good at baseball, have production at the plate, but to be able to have a mind like him that understands the players, knows the position, knows what's been on, and what the culture's been for the past couple of years. A lot of the coaching staff remain the same. I think that's extremely important for them to be able to succeed. And so Walt Weiss, huge reason behind it too.
All right, tremendous job by Jesus Cano. I'm keeping your number now. All right, we're not going to we're not going to bug you too much, but I'm going to reach out to you some more. This is Braves country. We need to be able to kind of keep on top of this deal as it develops throughout the summer. So tremendous job by you. Congrats on the gig, and we'll definitely look forward to talking to you again.
Hey, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Would love to come on, talk about Braves and all that stuff. And, thank you so much for supporting the Athletic. And, Braves start off game 1 against the Reds this weekend series, so it should be a fun one.
Should be a good one. Braves actually have a better record on the road than they do at home, and they got a great record at home. So I think 21-9 now on the road. So they look to keep that going, win another series in Cincinnati. All right, Jesus, I appreciate you, man. Thanks.
All right, sounds good. Take care.
Thank you. He was good, John. He was really good. For a first-timer, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, well-spoken, what I mean? All that good stuff. Young, so you can have him on forever until you retire.
Yeah, he'll get, he won't be big-time in me for a while. He's your age. He won't be big-time in me. He'll be happy to come on and promote his work and things like that. And you're right. He was well-spoken. A lot of times you get a writer on, you're not sure. You get somebody that's just a writer, you're not sure if they can put a sentence together.
Yeah.
But he was good.
Well,
I thought he was really good.
If you got the education, you're not just going to school just to be a writer. You got to be able to talk the talk as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he did a good job. He did a good job. I don't know how he'd feel about hearing, the open of the show, hearing that, I'm the Messiah when he's Jesus. You know what I mean? I'm just saying,
It's like the Spider-Man meme. They're all pointing at each other.
Yeah. It's like, I'm a sports Messiah, okay? Not that Messiah. And he's Jesus. He's not that Jesus. He's just Jesus. That's a lot of fun. All right. Let's get a break in here. By the way, text when a women's softball is good to watch. The fundamentals and skill set is there like golf and tennis. We just don't see that in many women's sports. That's an interesting take because in as much as do we have to say women's softball? Is it redundant to say women's softball? All we got to do is say softball, right? If we say softball World Series, we're not dudes. We're not talking about beer league softball with a kegger at second base, throwing, the high, slow pitch softball pitches. I don't know that there's much, fast pitch anymore with men. It used to be a thing when I was in my youth, upstate New York. Fast pitch softball. That's what we called it. Fast pitch softball. That was a thing. You'd play fast pitch softball.
Man, we just play baseball.
Yeah. Country hardball. All right, let's get a break. David Wasson of the Mike Check Sports Podcast and college baseball writer for Saturday Down South will join us next as we preview this tournament, which is getting started in just moments, the college baseball tournament. We'll do that next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Atlanta Braves are on the road tonight in Cincinnati to take on the Reds. Grant Holmes is on the bump. He's 3-2 with an ERA below 4. Atlanta's minus 155 on the money line. The over-under between the two is 9.5 runs. Auburn Tigers play today in NCAA regional play. They'll host Milwaukee. Auburn is minus 2,100 on the money line. The over-under is 11 runs. Alabama will host Alabama State tonight. The over-under is 11 runs. Alabama is minus 810 on the money line in the regional opener. With your VSiN Action Update, I'm John Thayer on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Listen to The Drive live from the SEC Spring Meetings on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Drive at the SEC Spring Meetings is brought to you by Huntsville Sports Commission. We do sports. Berkshire Hathaway Home Service. Rise Real Estate and Adams. Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We save you money. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Your trusted Huntsville roofing contractors. And by McCurry Van and Car Rental. Online at McCurryRentals.com.
Before you build, know the ground beneath you. OMI Incorporated has been North Alabama's trusted name in geotechnical engineering for over 30 years. We provide subsurface investigations, environmental consulting, and construction materials testing to keep your project moving forward with confidence. Commercial, industrial, and public projects, OMI has the experience to get it right. OMI Incorporated. Experience below the surface. Visit omi-eng.com. or call 256-837-7664.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy and overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms once again going to be a prominent part of the afternoon and the evening. We drop into the upper 60s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky on Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the mid 80s with some scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231. And welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. The NCAA baseball tournament is underway. We are efforting David Wasson, who covers baseball for Saturday Down South. And he's got his podcast as well. It's the Mike Check Sports Podcast. Tournament is underway. First game is Kentucky and Wake Forest. Wake leading 1-0. They go on to the top of the second inning. So just kind of giving you a little bit of a rundown on the games that are going to be popping here. Tennessee and East Carolina is underway as well. So we'll keep you posted on what is going on in the Tennessee-East Carolina game. And I think those are the only two. No, Georgia Tech and UIC is underway as well. That one's on the ACC network. And Boston College and Liberty is underway. You have to go to ESPN Plus to get that one. John, I'm going to forward you his text with his email address. And let's see. No, that's you. Anyway, yeah, that's the one that we had, John. I think we had the right one. I'm not sure.
I don't know, the picture on it, a little goofy. It had me kind of scratching my head.
The picture on what?
He had a little profile picture on his email and all that stuff. Could be him.
Okay, boom. There you go. I just forwarded you exactly what he forwarded me, so he hasn't seen it yet. So anyway, we got a number of games that are underway as things are getting started with the baseball tournament. Of course, Alabama coming up a little bit later on, and the Tide, and they've got Alabama State, USC Upstate, and Oklahoma State in their region. Auburn gets started, I think, at 1:00 is when Auburn goes. Auburn's in with Milwaukee, NC State, and UCF. So I think Auburn's got a pretty good draw there. There are 7 SEC teams that are 1 seeds that are hosting regionals. Of those 7, 5 are top 8 seeds: Georgia, Auburn, Texas, Alabama, and Florida. So those are teams that would presumably host super regionals if they were to get through this weekend. There are 4 SEC teams that are 2 seeds, and then 1, Kentucky, is a 3 seed. So that's what we got right now. All right, so David Wasson will be joining us here in a few minutes. Now, it's kind of interesting. I can't remember if I know David or not, but he's like Mr. 239. He's Mr. Southwest Florida. He's been down there for a long time. And I've had 2 stints in Southwest Florida. From 2001 to 2004, I was down there and brought ESPN radio to the station that I had. Then that's where David Moulton and I worked together. And then again from 2013 to 2016, helped launch the Fox Sports radio station there. And then they wanted to have somebody look. I wasn't down there in time, on location at that time. And they're like, yeah, we need to get somebody in here. Look, my contract was up. It was a 3-year hitch, and I knew that that's all it would be. That was when I was doing 7 hours of radio a day, which was just too much. But I'm not sure that our paths have ever crossed before. I don't know. I mentioned the softball earlier in case you missed that. Softball got started. All 8 teams were in play yesterday. And for the record, 90% of all of the women's World Series champions start out with a win in their opening game. So the teams that won yesterday, Texas Tech, Tennessee, Alabama, and Nebraska. Now, today is elimination day. State will play Texas. Arkansas plays UCLA. Losers go home. Just like that. And I got to tell you, it was interesting. I watched it. I spent a decent amount of time watching it. I thought it was pretty decent. All right. I tell you what we'll do, John. He says he's walking in now, so I don't know if you got him set up. All right. So let's go to him now. David Wasson. He's not set up yet? Wait, I'll tell you what, let's knock the break out. Let's get this out of the way. All right, get the break out of the way. And then we'll come back and finish with David Wasson. So we'll do that. We'll take the break. And when we return, David Wasson will join us next right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well, because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943. Member FDIC.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
WASP Asset Software, delivered by our Next Level software team, helps you track every asset with ease, giving you total visibility over your tools, equipment, and IT assets from everywhere.
With WASP, our customers have reduced loss, improved accountability, and saved hours of tracking down what they own and where it is.
This is proven technology, and I urge you to ask about it.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Lynn Layton Ford. That's right. My good friend Bobby White is now at Lynn Layton, and I'm right there with him. And you know what you'll never find at Lynn Layton Ford? Some mysterious dock fee that can be like $600, $700, or $800. The price you saw advertised is the price you'll pay. That's the Lynn Layton way. You see, transparency is important in buying these days, and that's what you get at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. I made the move, and so should you, to Lynn Layton Ford. And welcome back. Tom Abraham Show. Football Friday means football music all throughout the show. But to be honest with you, today has been more kind of a baseball Friday than a football Friday. And joining us now to talk about the baseball tournament, which is underway, is David Wasson of the Mike Check Sports Podcast and also the college baseball writer for Saturday Down South. And he joins us now not only on WZZN TV, but on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. David, welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
Tom, it's like listening to the old home week down here in Southwest Florida where I am. The myriad people I run into who are like, "Do you know who Tom Abraham is?" I'm like, I've never met Tom Abraham, but now I can check that off my list, for crying out loud. You're like a virtual god in Southwest Florida, just so you know.
All right, John, go ahead and mark that for a promo. Yeah, you can go. Go ahead and mark that one for the promo. Yeah, I was telling the listeners I don't remember if our paths crossed, but I was there bringing ESPN radio to those guys at 770 back 01 to 04, and then it came back 13 to 16 when the Fox station launched. So I'm just good enough to have been whacked by both stations. How about that?
Hey, I know the feeling, my friend. I know the feeling. But hey, we're still talking. We're still doing the thing. That's all that matters.
I'm still down there quite a bit. I've got a daughter who's married that lives in Whiskey Creek, which you know where that is, obviously.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My parents.
See, you sneak in and out of town. You don't let people know you're the Tom Abraham when you're down here, which is a good thing.
I slip in and out. Maybe I'll contact Gina Master or Mike from Minnie, one of those guys, and let them know that I'm bouncing around. But my parents still live in North Fort Myers on their horse farm, so that's kind of cool. So we get in and out of there, quite often. But I got to tell you, on this tournament, the biggest fear that I have is that UCLA is going to win this thing, and that for the first time ever, one conference is going to have baseball, basketball, and football, and this is going to be, my Big Ten listeners are going to be unsufferable if that happens. I can't.
And Tom, not going to happen down here. Down here in Southwest Florida, it's the same deal. There's more Big Ten fans down here than there are Florida Gators fans, Florida State fans, Miami fans. They're all pumped up. They're all puffing their chest about the football and the basketball and the women's basketball. So yeah, that's a fear of mine too. The SEC though is pretty good in college baseball. The last 6 national titles, of course, the team that won it last year didn't even make the tournament, LSU. That's a whole nother story. They cratered out magnificently during the SEC season. But 12 teams in out of 16. anything can happen in the regionals. The NCAA regionals in baseball a little bit more volatile than the softball regionals are. Usually it's the highest seed goes on. But we've seen over the years a lot of volatility in these regionals and in the super regionals. Not always chalk heading into the College World Series.
We got a pretty good feeling that UCLA will get through, and they may not see an SEC team. Depending on what Kentucky can do as a 3 seed, they would see them in the supers if they got there. But for the most part, they probably don't see an SEC team until they get to Omaha. So we got to get them out of there. I mean, this would just they'd be insufferable. I mean, I couldn't stand it if the 10 wins the baseball as well.
No, and the Wildcats not exactly playing great baseball either. They're 4-6 in their last 10, 1 and out in the SEC tournament. They barely made the tournament. So one of the last 4 in. For UCLA, if that were the case, the Bruins are going to be riding high at that point. But the SEC's top heavy too. You look at teams like Georgia, Florida, Arkansas. These are teams that have the bona fides to go all the way and have a chance to win in Omaha. And Lord knows however long that's going to be with all the rain that ends up happening.
You mentioned LSU not making it as the defending champion. I tell you what, if you told me that there'd be 11 SEC teams in this tournament, if you told me that, back in February, and that not only LSU, but Vandy, our Vandy boys, are you kidding me? Tim Corbin, friend of the show. If you're telling me that Vandy and LSU didn't make this tournament, I tell you, you're out of your mind. But that's the longest streak going, and it's ended. It's amazing.
Yeah, not that you would have been able to find the odds on that somewhere in Vegas or in the great beyond of sports betting, but if you were able to make book on that, you'd have made a lot of money. Yeah, no, because LSU, certainly one of the blue blood programs in the country, having won 2 of the last 3 titles, a ton of titles there at Alex Box, and of course, like you said, the Vandy boys, they had an 18-year run that finally got smashed. Both teams playing very, very pedestrian baseball when it came to SEC season.
Well, what we say about Vandy, I mean, it's a zero-sum world, right? It's like the basketball team made the tournament. They hadn't made that in a minute. The football team won 10 games, and the baseball team missed the tournament. I mean, it's like one or the other. You can't have good things, nice things on all 3.
Only a little bit at a time for Vandy. You're absolutely right.
Just a little bit, yeah. Alabama is one of the big dichotomies here. Is Alabama is the 7th seed overall in the tournament, which means that if they get through their regional, they will be hosting a super regional. But Vegas says not so fast, my friend. They're like 14th in terms of the pick. They're the 9th SEC team mentioned when it comes to Vegas, 45-1. So Alabama, are we saying that they basically overperformed this season, getting to the point where they are a 7th seed nationally?
Yeah, Vegas, I think, is looking at the totality of Alabama's season. 37-19, a good, a very good finish, but they were spectacularly hot down the end. Back-to-back sweeps of Vandy, like we talked about. South Carolina, another program that's been really down before winning that Ole Miss series at the end. They went 8-1 over the last 9 in the SEC in the regular season. That qualifies for a hot, but it's been a while since the Tide has been to the College World Series. 7-10 in the last 3, but 0-1. They lost right away in Hoover to Florida. So I'm with you. If I were buying or selling Alabama, I'd be selling Alabama right now. I don't think they have the goods. They'll probably get out of their regional as a number 7 seed, obviously hosting. But, them making it to Omaha, I'd be a seller there.
Yeah, they got whacked by Florida there in Hoover, and they had swept Florida during the season, so a lot of people thought that they'd have an opportunity there. How good is Florida State? Says if Alabama gets through in their super regional, it would be Florida State if we get chalky. How good are the Seminoles?
I think the Seminoles are very good, Tom. I really do, and they always are up in Tallahassee. A bad Florida State team, is a team that is still a super regional threat. I think the Seminoles are a College World Series worthy team, and I think they've got enough pitching to where, which is the name of the game these days. I think they have enough pitching to do what it takes to get to Omaha. Again, unlike Alabama, I'd be buying the Seminoles right now hard.
Yeah. David Wasson with us here, covers baseball for Saturday Down South, and also has the podcast. Mike Check Sports is his podcast as well. That's a weekly deal, right? You guys do that once a week?
Do that once a week, absolutely.
Okay. Talk to me about Auburn. Auburn's a team trying to make it to Omaha for the third time now, and they are a 4 seed. Kind of sputtered just a hair down the stretch, but that's a team that a lot of people keeping an eye on as well.
Yeah, 5-5 down the stretch in their last 10. They lost 2 of 3 to Georgia, but Auburn and Georgia might be a College World Series best of 3 finals, considering the way those two teams are playing against each other. Bulldogs came in and won 2 games out of 3 on the Plains, but Auburn hadn't lost a conference series since March before then. So, losing to Georgia, even if it is losing at home, is not exactly the end of the world if you're Auburn. At the same time, the Tigers went 2-1. They beat LSU. They beat A&M at the SEC tournament before losing to Arkansas. I like Auburn's team this year. I think they have a good mix of pitching and hitting. I think, that 5-5 mark, it kind of has people going, well, gee, I wonder if the Tigers have what it takes. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see Auburn, as much as I hate it, to see, as an Alabama alum, Tom, as much as I hate to see Auburn make the College World Series, it wouldn't surprise me if they make that trip to Omaha.
How about that? David Wasson, an Alabama alum.
I know. I shouldn't have spread that out loud. I shouldn't have put that in the universe.
All right. That's okay. Tennessee is playing right now to no score against East Carolina. They're in the 4th inning there, top 4. If there is a team out of the SEC that is a sleeper to at least get to Omaha, who might that be? Does Tennessee, in their first year without Tony Vitello, which is, a big deal, could they rally and still make it to, to Omaha?
If you'd asked me at various points, Tom, in the regular season, if Tennessee was a super regional / College World Series contender, I'd have been like, I don't know. They went 38-20. Didn't always look like a tournament team, to be honest, but they put it together at the right time. 7-3 over the last 10. Josh Elander's team punched its tournament ticket. They took the first 2 of the Texas series in Knoxville, then took the first 2 from Oklahoma, another tournament team on the road. Just 1-1 in the SEC tournament. So the Vols, though, they should feel confident. Vols fans should be confident with those wins over 2 top 8 national seeds in Texas and in Oklahoma. Again, for Tennessee to continue that stellar play with a new coach after their coach went on to the Giants, I think is remarkable. I like Tennessee, but again, they're not at home. They're at North Carolina, and as we've seen, road teams in these regionals not always great.
Florida is a home team, hosting in Gainesville. I like their path. I really do. And I know that, Mississippi State is the chalk, and that's who they would play in the super regional. Those are 8-9 in terms of the national seeds. But, an 8 out of the SEC, 9 Southern Miss. I like Florida's path to Omaha. I really do.
Yeah, they had to get hot down the stretch to get there. But again, you see the power of hosting regionals. Florida's in a wild regional. And if there's a Gainesville Super Regional, it wouldn't surprise me. They won their final 3 series, so it hasn't been a month. It's been over a month since they lost 2 games over a weekend. They went up 6-0 on Georgia in Hoover before losing 8-7. That was a quirky game, though. SEC tournament games, whether it be in the basketball tournament or in the baseball tournament, are really not always kind of really good analyzers of how teams are going to play. I like the Gators' path as well. I think that they've got everything that they need for Kevin O'Sullivan's squad to shake off that loss to Georgia and Hoover and make it back to the CWS.
David Wasson has been our guest. David, it's really good to catch up with you, man. I'm going to save the number. Let's chat again throughout this tournament and continue doing a great job. Tell the people where they can find the Mike Check Sports Podcast.
You go to MikeCheckSports.com. We're on all the socials at Mike Check Sports. You can also search all the podcast platforms as well, on YouTube as well. Video, which unlike you've got the good beard going. Mine grows scruffy and and patchy and 5 different colors. So, but I'm on YouTube as well. So go check that out, Mike Check Sports. And again, Saturday Down South is where you can find the greatest information on SEC sports, not just college baseball, but you have the college this is College Football Friday. I feel like just staying through breaks to listen to more fight songs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. And Saturday Down South is great. I mean, John Cooper and I met back when he first launched that thing, and we've used them throughout, ever since they've been around. I don't know, 15 years now, something like that. So it's great stuff. All right, David, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the kind words.
Thom, I will be dropping your name all across Southwest Florida the rest of the day, and if it gets me anywhere, I'll send you a cut of the proceeds.
Go to Pincher's Crab Shack and tell them you want the Thom Abraham discount. We'll see how that works out.
They'll probably charge me 20% more.
Yeah, and they'll charge you extra. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, boss.
There you go. All right, young man. See, that's all before your time. You don't know. You don't know how it was. Those years in Florida, you have no idea.
Yeah. I know you were grinning behind that microphone. You were
well,
like, yeah,
I didn't.
Yep,
I'm just saying. I didn't even remember. I mean, I know he wrote for the Naples. He does Naples football as well. He wrote for the Naples Daily News. Okay. So there's
it's close
some crossover
to home.
there.
It is close to home.
He was on the same station that I was on for a period of time, not at the same time. When I was on Fox Sports there, when they launched that in 2013, I had left Southwest Florida in 2004. By the way, I didn't get whacked by either station, but I had left Southwest Florida on my own in 2004 to go to Huntsville originally because I had the opportunity to cover the Tide. I mean, when they told me that, hey, you're going to be the voice of the Tennessee Valley Vipers and you're going to cover the Tide. And then it was 3 years later, they said, hey, we want to send you to Nashville and we'll still carry the show down here and all that kind of good stuff. So those are the things, that's how that had happened. But when the Fox Sports people launched the Fox Sports radio station there in 2013, the father of the principal of that outfit told his son, if we're going to have a sports station, we need Thom Abraham. And he called me, and I'm like, A, I'm not moving back down there. And two, it's been 9 years since I've been gone. And they're like, man, people still talk about you down there. It's all right. We'll do it. So I'll do it for 3 years. We did a 3-year contract. Helped them launch the station. But in those days, I was doing 6 to 9. This is when we lived in College Grove. You remember College Grove, right?
I remember you talking about how you had to have that strong signal. You had that was whenever you got the inside in the house studio too.
I had the first time I had the studio in the house because they were the ones that built it.
Yep.
They were the ones that said we'll build the studio for you, and we had a unit that sat outside the house that was for internet to give us the super duper internet so that we could get the signal to them. But I was 6 to 9 Eastern doing a morning show, and then I was 2 to 6 in the afternoon in Montgomery and Nashville and Huntsville. So think about that. Now, 6 to 9 Eastern is 5 to 8 Central. So I was in the studio, every morning at 4:30 in the morning doing a 3-hour show from 5 to 8 Central Time for Florida, and then turn around and do a 4-hour show from 2 to 6 Central.
I mean, it's just talking.
Yeah.
Prepping.
And prepping.
And watching.
7 hours of radio. It took me 5 hours of prep. It was 13 hours a day. 13 hours a day
right there.
Yeah.
I see where you've gotten all this knowledge of sports from.
Well, it was just and I like I said, I told him I'd give him 3 years, and that was it.
Well, how many years are you going to give us? Titans going to have the Super Bowl.
I was thinking about that. I don't think I'm going to retire now. When I was thinking about retiring, I was going to retire after the Atlanta Super Bowl.
That's what the people
now
want
I'm
to hear.
thinking that I might hang until after the Nashville Super Bowl. Woo! I'm just saying, yeah, it might happen. I'm rethinking this thing. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't like retire fully anyway. Maybe I'd just be the floater at the station.
I don't know if that's the right name for it.
No. I'd be like a floater. I'd be like the fill in for the morning, fill in for this show, fill in for the Wesson and Moulton.
That would be intriguing. I'd like to see you do a little back and forth with Drew DeArmond on Talking Ball one day.
I've done that.
You and Scott.
No, that's true.
Can you fill Drew's shoes? Come on. A different type of radio.
Yeah, get on the radio and just call everybody blooming idiots and morons. That'll work. No, I could never replicate the knowledge that's in Drew's head, that's for sure. All right, that's going to do it. We're done. Have a great weekend. For the Grasshopper, I'm Tom Abraham. Talk to you on Monday.